Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Freedom Fridays. I hope that you are joining me today. As always, I love when we get together. So, if you are new here, I am Rashidat. I am your lifestyle coach, helping you build a life that you enjoy. Enjoy the life that you have worked so hard to build, because we've already worked hard. It's time to start enjoying it. So I welcome you. Every Friday we come together for happy hour to talk about topics that are important to us and to creating that life over a wonderful drink. So make sure you take a second. You got more than a second. You got like 45 seconds. Go get yourself a drink and then come back, say hello in the chat, and let me know what you're sipping on. And then we will get started in just a little bit. It's so funny how that 45 seconds goes so flipping fast to me. It feels like I have all the time in the world and then it's over. Which is absolutely fine. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am just getting a couple things set up here. I hope that you have taken a second to say hello in the chat. Oop, we could turn that off. There we go. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. So, welcome. All right. So, I'm excited. Today's topic, I want to give you a little rundown of what we're talking about today because, y'all, my life is messy as hell right now. And I thought it was worth talking about because it's exactly as it needs to be. Now, I know all of us really hate this part. We hate being in the messy middle, in the in between, because we all just want to like hurry up and get to the other side. Like I don't want to have to be in the part that feels messy, that feels hard, that feels uncertain. We all just want to hurry up and get through it. But I've been really practicing being okay with being in this space. Um, yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I would love for this part to be over because I don't like not knowing. I don't even know it's that I don't like the not knowing how it's going to turn out. I think it's sometimes not feeling as confident in my decision. So sometimes it makes me want to like try to hurry up and push through this season. Um and like hurry up and get through that messy part. I know I'm not the only one. If you have ever been, and I have definitely been, the one who wants to quit without a plan, who wants to push through when I really should be pausing, who can hear my brain second guessing myself through this season. I have been all of those things. And I think that's why it's important to talk about it, because the problem is that clarity doesn't come from us overthinking it or even trying to hurry up and push through it. It really does come from being patient and just taking one baby step through this season. I have really come to find peace doesn't come from avoiding any of this. And it definitely doesn't come from trying to make everything perfect or trying to make the outcome perfect, because that's the other thing. We try to make all of that perfect, just to hurry up and get through it and feel like we get through it unscathed. And waiting until it's all easy and like trying to wait until you have everything perfectly figured out means that we also never start, that we actually never get through it, that we again avoid it in a different way. So I have been sitting in this space where I know I don't have to have all the details figured out. I just need to trust in my next step and, continue taking that next step. So, this is my season of I'm always in a season of living in alignment, but this is what it looks like to live in alignment in the messy middle and really using my discernment to take that next step. So today I want to talk about what that looks like. I gave you like the overview of what my experience has been in the last couple months, and yet I want to share about some specific topics within like how I've been practicing not spiraling in confusion or trying to hurry up and like run through it, and really allowing myself to pivot in peace, which is easier said than done. Like that's why there is so many people who talk about content like this. So it's messy, but it's also beautiful in the becoming. And um, I love to think of plants as an analogy around this because a seed starts in the dirt. The dirt is not like clean. The dirt is messy. It's dirty, right? Like, and yet something absolutely beautiful and amazing grows out of it when we water it, when we let it take its time, when we give it its nutrients, when it gets its sunlight. And I think that's the same thing of what it looks like to be in the messy middle. So, yep, that's what we're going to talk about today. But first and foremost, we are going to talk about celebrating our wins. Hey, y'all. Hey, Megan. Welcome. I'm so glad you got to join us today. Happy Friday. Yes, girl. Happy Friday. Michelle said, good evening. Listening while I run errands. I love it. I love it when you have a chance to join us. And I hope you get a chance to share your thoughts. And also, no pressure. I'm always happy to share. So, no, like I said, we're going to start with our wins and then we'll jump into the topic about the messy middle today. So, celebrating our wins from this week. I do this every single week because, especially being in the messy middle, it is so easy to just want to hurry up and get through it that we don't celebrate the magic that is happening in the midst of it. And I was reading Get Rich Lucky Bitch this summer, and she talks about how when you don't acknowledge the universe for the blessing it gives you, it's like, oh, you must not want my blessings. Let me go on and take my blessings somewhere else. So I was like, I'm gonna acknowledge every blessing so the universe knows and God knows. I see you, Jesus. I see you showing up. Thank you. Come on and show up again. Like, I want to positively reinforce the universe and God and all the love coming to me. So I think doing that as we said, like doing our celebration of our wins is a great practice to help us do that. And so I love starting with celebrating our wins. So if you want to take a second and think about what are 3 wins that you are celebrating from this week, take a second and put it down in the chat. I would love to celebrate those wins with you. Um, and I'm going to share a couple of my wins from this week. Okay, so win number 1. I am feeling better. Now, you didn't even know that I was feeling bad because last Friday, I was actually feeling pretty good. I had just driven back from Pittsburgh for Thanksgiving and seeing my family. But like maybe the next day or the day after, I got the absolute worst tension headache I've ever had in my life. I didn't even know that a tension headache could manifest the way that it did. It was more than just, excuse me, my head hurting. It was the whole base of my neck had tightened up into a ball and was like a rock. Like it hurt. You know how when it hurts to even get a massage, like your muscles are so tight that it hurts to get a massage. That's how tight my neck was. And today I'm feeling so much better. I got online and I looked up how to massage that out, and I started wearing a scarf. Part of it is the season change. Listen, my body doesn't like cold. My body is like, listen, when it gets cold, we start pulling it in. And listen, my neck was like, listen, we're not good with this. So I started wearing my scarf all week, and I even started sleeping in my scarf, and that helped a lot. That helped between the massaging, and I put some heat on it, and sleeping in my scarf, and honestly wearing my scarf as much as I possibly could. That helped relieve my neck. So y'all, I'm grateful because I was like, woo, I might have to go to the doctor and get some muscle relaxer after this. Like, it was a rock. It was harder than that was definitely tighter than I've ever experienced before. So definitely a win, feeling much better. I love it. Okay, so Michelle said win, totaled all of my debt. Hard to see it, but that's the first step. Michelle, that is beautiful. It is such a hard thing to see, and yet it is also exactly the first step. And it's like, okay, I know where I am today. Here's how I'm going to start chopping it down. Like, it is I remember doing this step, and I'm doing it again because like I told you guys, I paid off all my debt, but I made some bets on my business that I used some debt to try to leverage, and now I'm back in debt, and so I'm paying off debt again. And it's like, dang, like, how did this number is hard to see, and yet when you see it, you're like, okay, I've felt my emotions about it. Now I'm gonna dust myself off, and I'm ready to take it on. I'm ready to move forward. Listen, that's an amazing, Michelle. That's an amazing win. Like, I don't even know that I have the words to express how proud of you I am for doing that, because you took your head out of the sand and said, I'm not going to avoid this anymore. I'm going to address this. And because I'm ready to address it, it's not going to hang over me anymore. Like, listen, you're not letting stuff hang over. Talk about empowerment. That is you, boo. You're doing that. I love it. I'm just excited for you, girl. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you for sharing that, Michelle. Okay, Megan said wins. Number one, making progress with starting to clean and declutter in the messy middle of waiting too long to clean. I completely understand that. I was just talking about putting our heads in the sand for our money. We can put our listen. Sometimes it feels easier to put our head in the sand for all of it. Just like, listen, I don't have the energy to deal with none of this right now. I just want to put my head in the sand and deal with it later. And I understand. I understand. And yet it's so beautiful. There is something beautiful about having time to rest from that. Like, there is something about saying, I can't deal with this right now. I need to rest so that I can come back to it refreshed. And it's also beautiful to come back to it refreshed. So yes, and amen to making progress. Megan, that is absolutely amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then Megan had win number two, meditated for 21 days straight. Get it, Megan. Yes. All of that love and replenishment of you. Come on. I that's one of the types of rest. So I'm so excited that you're being intentional about it and that you're using it. Because sometimes we'll use stuff and then we'll get off track, and then we don't use it for a while. But girl, you're going strong. Like, this is beautiful. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. Then Megan's win number three was, I finished a 10-day gratitude meditation challenge. Listen, you've been using all the tools. I love it, Megan. I love that so, so much. Oh, such great wins. Like, yes, wins, celebrating, celebrating. I need it to, let me see. Do I have, I think I got a clapping sound. Let me find it. Let me see. I got a cheering sound. Yes, Megan. Yes, Michelle. I said, oh, let me use some of this stuff that I done paid for. And I want you to listen. I hope you are taking a bow, patting yourself on the back, ladies. Like, yes, those are amazing, amazing, amazing wins. I love it. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Yay. Michelle said, thank you. I'm proud of you too. Listen, I think I received that because sometimes when you have, it was kind of hard for me to tell you guys that I had gotten back into debt. I'm not going to lie. Because, first of all, I had been out of debt for 6 years. And in my mind, I was like, I am never, ever, ever going back into debt. And so there was regret, there was shame, there was a lot of feelings around being back in this spot, you know? And then I said, wait a minute, I took a bet on me. And while it didn't work out the way that I planned or in the timing that I planned, that doesn't mean that betting on me was a mistake. It is absolutely never, ever, ever a mistake to bet on yourself, to bet on me. And so that's what made me start sharing it. So I'm glad that you shared it too. I'm glad that we can know that there is absolutely no shame over here, and that debt might be right now and it's not forever. Like, we can absolutely get out of it. Listen, boo, I got out of it before and I'm going to be out of it again. Yes and amen. And the same to you, Michelle. You're going to be out of it. So listen, listen, take all of that. You deserve to be proud of yourself. Absolutely. Megan said, congrats on confronting your debt, Michelle. That's a step for me to take too. Yes. And that's so beautiful when we can take these things to, we can take these steps together, because for one, it makes it feel not so overwhelming, not so lonely, and we can release that shame that makes us feel like we have to hide and that no one can know. Even though we know so many people have debt, it can still harness so many feelings. And I'm telling you from experience, this is me telling you how I felt about it. So, and I'm also saying that my step out of it is like, hey, it's cool. Like, it's not going to hang over me. No matter the reason or how I got to this spot, it's not going to hang over me. We're moving forward. So, yes, congratulations, ladies. I love it. Amazing wins. Let me see. My second win for the week. I'm going to get into this more when we get into the topic for today. But there was a reel. Gosh, I don't know if I have it. But the guy, he's like he's walking, he's got this hard walk, this hard Naomi walk, right? And then he kind of chuckles and he says, soft life takes hard decisions. And then he chuckles at you again. And then he walks away, and it's just so real. It's such a good, it's a REAL. A real, because it is soft life takes hard choices. It's actually easy to just keep ignoring our debt. Like, it doesn't take away the stress, but it means that we don't have to confront something. um it's easy to ignore some of the things that we know are going to make us better, because doing the things that make us better are not easy. They're hard. They're confronting parts of us that we have let go to the side. And so this week has been some of those things for me, like making some hard decisions in a lot of different ways that I'm like, okay, I don't know exactly how this is going to work out. And yet, the one thing that I know for sure, the one thing that's keeping me absolutely grounded is knowing that my decisions are being made out of my values, not out of my circumstances. I'm going to say that again. It's really important. I'm making my decisions out of my values, the things that are important to me, that are going to help me get to the life that I want, not out of my not out of my circumstances, because my circumstances will change. What my life looks like today won't always look like how my life is. If I make decisions just based on how my life looks today, I will do things that sabotage it, just because that's the nature of it. And so I've been really leaning into making decisions constantly leaning into making decisions out of my values. So Yay! Hey, Keena. She said, "Hola, Jaya gang. Come on, girl. I love it. Yes, the Jaya gang is here." I can't wait to have that sales page done. I was working on it earlier today and I'm getting closer. I'm like in this process of refining, which again is a part of the messy middle of the pivot. And I'm learning not to, again, not to hurry up and just throw stuff out. Not that I don't, it makes it sound like I'm doing things haphazard and I'm not. It's just that I can move very quickly. As a maverick, going back to those sacred money archetypes, as a maverick, I can just bust through stuff. But my ruler side has been slowing me down to really lean into my strategic side as I do it. So, yes, yes. So, y'all, we're celebrating wins. Keena, if you have any wins, share them in the chat. Michelle, thank you for sharing your wins. Is it still Mercury in retrograde? Because I evidently still can't talk. Megan, thank you for sharing your wins. I just shared 2 wins so far. So my second one was feeling good about how I've been making decisions from my values and not my circumstances as I've been navigating some of the messy middle this week, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. And then my third win for the week, y'all. Let me see, what is my third win? So I was about to say my third one, but I think that's the third one for my best friend's business. I want to say what's a third win for me. Oh, I think that I don't know if I had a chance to tell you guys this from last week, but I had been struggling with my sleep. So you guys know that I had taken on a job and trying to now there's a different there's a different pull of my resources, my time, my energy, my money than there was before. And I've been trying to ground myself in that change and figure out what's going to be like, how am I going to do this and how does this all fit into the greater plan of where I'm taking myself. And when I say that's the part that's been the messy, messy, messy. I mean, messy. I feel like I've been cleaning that up every day. But it's all good. So, uh, the win is that even though it's been messy, it hasn't taken me out. And I say that for anybody that's in any messy middle right now, or whenever you're listening to this, if you're a messy middle, please know that being in the messy middle doesn't mean it's going to take you out. It's not going to take you out because that strength that you have, you don't always, I'm not saying that you need to be the strong one for everybody. And even your mustard seed of strength is enough to get you through this. Like, you got this. You got this. And you do not have to be strong alone. I'm not being strong alone. If it wasn't for my people, y'all, woo-hoo-hoo, girl would be in a ditch on the side of the road. I'm not doing this alone. So, um, yeah. And my third win is I guess still living in joy while this is a messy, messy middle. Okay, Keena said, we in the post Mercury retrograde shadow until the 16th. Thank you, Keena, because I was like, man, I still can't talk today. I thought it was going to be better. I started looking up, Tracy's not here yet. I started looking up that aura planner that Paviel told us about, and I got a little overwhelmed. For one, because it wasn't like the planner, it gave me like all of these different, it was like the aura planner was a type of planner. I thought it was just going to be a brand of a planner and it was just going to tell me. But I did find one that was really pretty, and yet it had so much information about the moons and all of that stuff. I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'm ready for all of this. Like, that's going to be, if I ever get into that, or let's say when I get into that, that's going to be something I go to a coach for, because your girl don't have time to try and learn all of that. This is the beauty of coaching. Pay someone else to figure it out and just teach me what I need to know, or just tell me what I need to know so I don't have to learn all the things. That's why I love doing vision planning and strategy, because not everybody, that's not how everybody's brain works. Not everybody wants to have to figure those things out. But I love that. That makes me like a kid in the candy store. So what we figuring out? Like that is my favorite thing. So yes, when I get ready to get into this oral planner life, I'm gonna have to join somebody's community and they're just gonna have to tell me, hey, Mercury's in retrograde, here's what to expect. And I'll be like, bet, thank you. Thank you for telling me. Keena said, I had to clear out all of my cabinets to downsize the cabinet clutter intentionally. Girl, is that a complaint or a win? Because that sounds like a win to me. I love every bit of that. Like that sounds lovely. I love cleaning out a cabinet. Now sometimes I go back and I'm like, dang, I threw away a little bit too much stuff, but most of that stuff I didn't need it. But yes, that's a win to clean out a cabinet. Yes and amen, girl. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, Keena said, yes, the pre and post retrogrades get me tongue tied and super tired. Girl, yes, I've been super tired and dealing with some perimenopause symptoms. So this morning I woke up at 5:30 and I had oxygen hunger. Have you guys heard of oxygen hunger? It's when you feel like you can't get enough breath in your body. Like you're like it's actually very uncomfortable. You feel like you're not like you're not like that. You're not hyperventilating, but they're like your body feels like it's asking for oxygen. For me, it feels like there's a gas bubble like right here trying to be freed. Like it feels like if there was a bobble right here trying to be freed. It is super uncomfortable. Um I lost my train of thought of where I was going with that, but it's been that was affecting, oh, that's what it was. That was affecting some of my tiredness and some of my perimenopause symptoms that I've been navigating, which I'm gonna go off on a tangent. Let me tell y'all. So I have spoke to two different I've done consultations with two different providers for HRT therapy, hormone replacement therapy. Um the one provider, I'm probably going to end up working with them, but I really didn't enjoy the sales call. I just felt like it was going to be an overwhelmingly white environment and I wasn't super excited about that. Though all of her content, I know that she's going to help me. I just don't know that I'm going to enjoy the people that I'm working with while I'm doing it. So I haven't given up yet. I'm gonna look and see if I can find some other Black HRT providers that I can work with. But right now, they're the top one running. The second one that I did a conversation with, they were in Colorado and they don't work with people outside of the state. So I couldn't that nixed that opportunity immediately. But the third one, let me tell you, I tried to check in with my doctor. Now, this is the doctor that when I broke out in hives this summer, I messaged them for help and they told me they couldn't help me. I had to go directly to the what is it? Um emergency emergency hospital. I had to go in for emergency. So now I'm just asking them, "Hey, do I need a referral for the HRT?" And they're like, "Oh, well, let's have an appointment." $193 15-minute phone appointment for you to for me to get an answer to my question if I need to speak to you, if I need a referral. Like I was so confused and very annoyed and frustrated. Needless to say, I did not have a conversation with them, but I do have a physical coming up, so I'll bring that conversation into that physical because I'm like, I'm not paying you an extra $93 separate for you to tell me if I need a referral or not, when you could tell me that right here in the portal. Yes, you need a referral. No, you don't need a referral. That's all I needed to know. So, I'm going to my plan is my annual physical was supposed to be next week, but with my work schedule and it being in North Carolina and I'm in Atlanta, I'm not going to be able to go. I switched the appointment to January, so I'm gonna move it around and I'm gonna do my appointment then. But yeah, that was a whole conversation that to me connected with the tiredness and the tongue tiedness, because all of those perimenopause symptoms, I don't know if they work with the moon cycle, but our bodies work, again, all of our women's bodies work on cycles. All of those things are very interconnected. I don't know the depth of which is connected, but I know it's been affecting me like crazy. So if you're not in Mercury retrograde, but you still feeling all the things, don't think you crazy. There's all these other things that can be affecting it as well. And we need providers that are going to consider all of those things rather than just be lost in medical Western medicine when there's also Eastern medicine to contend with. But okay, that was my little soapbox. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back. Okay. 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 Keena said it is a major one to have cleared out all of my cabinets and downsized it. Okay, girl. Yes, girl. Because I'm like this. That sounds like a good win to me. Yes and amen. Celebrating that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, Megan said, I follow SleepRx YouTube channel with Dr. Robin Scott. I think I've heard of her, Farm RD. Did she do, because I think she did a collaboration. Now I could be wrong because I'll mix somebody up real quick. So forgive me if I'm mixing it up. But I feel like she did a collaboration with Stephanie Perry at some point. I could be mixing it up. But she has lots of videos on how to get better sleep and what affects sleep. I totally agree. I enjoyed her stuff. You know what else I've been using too? Because there's I wonder if she talks about it from a perimenopause perspective, because perimenopause will mess with your sleep as well. And so I used to use tart cherry concentrate, um because it's a natural way to help do sleep. Now, when I was using it, I wasn't really struggling with sleep, so it was a little too heavy, but now I'm planning to go back to it. At least while I am trying to navigate how my work schedule is going to affect my sleep schedule, cuz the store opens at 4 a.m. And so some days I have to be up at 2:30 a.m., which means I need to go to bed at 8 a.m. Well, the last time I tried that, I went to bed at 8 a.m. I woke up at 11:30 p.m. and never fell back to sleep. I didn't have to be back up until 2. So I pretty much was up for almost 24 hours because I had to get myself back on schedule. That was terrible. That's where I end up needing the medicine, because since it's messing with my cycle, like me, I end up having to go to bed earlier. It just throws so much off. But I'm gonna talk about that part as that comes around in a little bit too. But I love that. I'm gonna check back in with Dr. Robin, and see if she has any other solutions, suggestions that'll help with that too. Megan said, these doctors sound like they are giving you the runaround. It is, you know what? It can be really frustrating, and it's also frustrating to just pick the first doctor, because unfortunately not every doctor has the same level of understanding. And so I'm being picky about who I work with. And my primary care doctor, she is giving me a bit of a runaround, and all that tells me is I need to find a new primary care doctor. And as my work finally, like once I get to the point where I finally have benefits with my doctor, with my job, then I'll work on finding another one. And that'll depend on where the job ends up being, and all of that stuff. So if it ends up being in Charlotte, then I probably go back to the doctor I had when I first got to Charlotte, the doctor before this lady. I felt like she at least really heard me and worked with me, and I appreciated that. This doctor, I don't know what's up with her. And then I have a doctor that I used to have here in Atlanta that I can go back to as well, so we'll see how it pans out. But yes, I'm not about to run around, and I'm also going to take autonomy and accountability for my own health, and not just rely on this one doctor to tell me any and everything. Because if I was just waiting for her, I would still not know that the symptoms that I am dealing with are related to perimenopause. So while she's might be giving me the runaround, I also know and educated myself for myself so that I can get the resources that I need without waiting for her to learn about it. So okay, that's what I gotta say about her and that. Keena said in other countries, the pharmacies have all the prescriptions over the counter, no referrals. USA is whack. USA is absolutely whack. I totally and completely agree, Keena. I agree. I agree. And some days I know why I'm here in the US, and yet I cannot wait until I'm not. Megan said our medical, oh wait, oh it just deleted it. No. Something our medical, it I don't know, went away. Dang. I don't know why our chat does that sometimes, or I don't know if maybe you deleted it, but yeah. Okay. Megan said, I don't remember how I started following Dr. Scott. It was either through Stephanie or Dr. Kimani. I believe it. Two great sources, connecting with really great providers that I'm so glad that we all start sharing and connecting together so we can share the wealth and know that we have really, really amazing resources in our community that we can connect back with. So I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Okay. Any other wins that we're sharing today? Take a second and put it in the chat so we can celebrate you. And then as you're doing that, every week I give out stickers. Hashtag STICKA sticker. Let me put it up on the screen. I actually do have that. And the reason I do that is because it's another one of those ways of celebrating ourselves. Like I want us to feel a pat on the back for prioritizing rest and fun. This whole Friday event started because I knew that I needed to prioritize rest and fun. And if I did it in a group setting where it challenged me to hold myself accountable to other like minded people, that it would help it would help me remember to do it, and it would help me feel less of the feels about doing it. Like it would give me, I knew that I would feel more permission around it. And so that's why this all started. And so every week we're giving out stickers because even if it was 30 seconds, if it was 30 hours, it doesn't matter how much time. If you've taken some time this week to prioritize yourself, giving yourself time to rest, giving yourself time to laugh deeply, belly laugh, to have fun, then you deserve a sticker and I want you to claim it. Now, here's the thing, I'm putting it on a spreadsheet, but you're claiming it. It's up to you to claim it. So if you don't beat yourself up for if you feel like you didn't give yourself enough rest or what type of rest, just claim your sticker and remind yourself next week, I can claim even more rest and even more rest and even more rest. And before I know it, it's less of an event of me claiming rest and more of a lifestyle of me living rest. That's what this is about. Every week, when we do it little by little, it turns into this lifestyle of rest that we deserve to have. So if you're claiming a sticker, hashtag sticker in the chat. Yes. Megan said, our medical care doesn't feel like care most of the time. It's so frustrating. I agree, Megan. I said, listen, I'm glad that I have been learning how to care for me just as much as I let a doctor care for me. I have now come to use the mindset for medical care that they are a part of my team. I'm saying what goes because this is what's happening in my body. Okay. Yes. Yes to that. Megan also said, sticker, please. Yes, girl. I got you. Let me go ahead and get the spreadsheet up on the screen so that we can give out some stickers. You know, I love giving out stickers. I love it. I love it. I love it. Where'd I go with it? There it is. Nope, that's not it. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. Oh, this says 2024. We're in 2025. And Lord have mercy, the end of 2025 at that. Okay. Where are we at here? Oh, look at all the fall stickers. Today's December 5th. I need some stickers. What kind of stickers should we use for the next couple weeks? And I need to start figuring out what the giveaway is going to be. Let's do this. And then let me see. Michelle said, "This winter, I have committed to real rest. No creating, just depressed. So every other night, I watch movies. It's been fun, allowing me time to enjoy things I haven't watched in years." Yes, take that fun. And I think that's beautiful. Sometimes the things that we love, we can need rest from, a break from as well. I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but I haven't gone dancing in a year. I haven't gone dancing since last year. Y'all know I used to go dancing every single week and I have not missed it. I needed a break from it. So, Michelle, I completely get it. I get what you're saying. Like, I needed a break from creating because sometimes we could get burnt out on our dreams, on the things that we love, because it goes from being it goes from being refreshing and restful to being work. And when we take a pause from it, then we can allow ourselves to connect back to the deeper part of it that made it that rest for us. So I love that. I love that so much, Michelle. Michelle said it's been very fun allowing myself time to enjoy things I haven't watched in years. It's so good. Girl, what you watching? I want to know. You watching Home Alone? I haven't watched Home Alone in years. I've been watching new stuff. I haven't been watching too much old stuff. But I ain't mad at that. I love it. It's also when you watch something that you haven't watched in years, it's like this is so old. Like look how grainy the picture looks. I forgot how old this is, right? She said, "Oh, I didn't mean to say I was depressed." I was like, "Oh no, just depressed." How am I going to address that? My brain was thinking. I'm glad you're and even if you are depressed, there's space for that here. All the things are there's space to talk about all the things here, and I was still trying to figure out how I was going to address it. Okay. Keena said, "I'm rewatching Westworld and all the John Wick series. I feel like I recently heard of Westworld, but I haven't watched it yet. While organizing the things. I love that. I've been watching this little series called Curses on Apple TV because it's a black family. It's an animated series with black family. And the mother is black. Of course, the kids are mixed. The dad is white. And it's how the dad's ancestors went and stole all of these artifacts from places all around the world, and then the curses start unleashing. There's a curse on him because his ancestors have done this, and he's been trying to figure out how to fix the curse, and but he doesn't fix it in time, of course. So then the kids and the mom have to figure it out, and they figure out how to break the curse. And now the rest of the series is them giving back all of these artifacts that this old white man in their ancestral line stole. I like that part of it. Like, yes, give them all back. It's actually, I think it's cute. So yes, that's something I've been watching lately. Megan, sticker ideas. Thank you, Megan. You know I love when you come with the sticker ideas. Okay, let me go ahead and put the coffee in there. Coffee will be today. Come on. Here we go. Coffee. Y'all, I have been living off of coffee. Now, I don't know if you know this about me, but I had gotten off the dark juice. I had gotten off of coffee. But lately I've been back on it. I've been back on it. So it's been helping again because I'm dealing with this change in my circadian cycle and trying to navigate what it's going to settle into being. So I don't have it all figured out yet, but it's okay. In the meantime, I'm good. I'm good. Let me see. Okay. So the coffee was one. The snowflake is next. If anybody else is claiming a sticker, please put hashtag sticker in the chat while I get these stickers up here. The snowflake. Okay, that one right there. Come on. There we go. And then what's the next one Megan had for me? The snowman and the Christmas tree. It is almost Christmas time. Well, it's Christmas time, but let's see. Okay. And then the snowman. Snowman with flakes. Okay, we'll do that one. And then the Christmas tree. Okay. All right. So if you're claiming a sticker, take a second and put hashtag sticker in the chat. I already got Megan. Keena said, not depressed, just oppressed. Shame the devil, not yourself. Come on now. Speak it, Keena. Speak that truth. I love that. Yes. Michelle said, I've been watching Home Alone last holiday with Queen Latifah. That's a good one to watch too. And now El Cool J and his lips. Girl, you ain't never lied. That's a good one. I love it. Megan said, I'm surprised I haven't really watched any Christmas movies yet. It doesn't really feel like Christmas to me, except for the cold and snow. Yeah, I told y'all last week, I'm an anti-Christmas person. You know what I have done for Christmas? So at McDonald's, they're doing the Grinch special. And so they did this salt for the fries that's dill pickle. And y'all, I love it. It is so delicious on some hot fries. You like put it on the fries and shake it up. I loved it so much, and I had like a large fry, but that dill was so strong, it was so acidic, it tore up my mouth. So I had that what last Tuesday. I had it on Tuesday. Today's Friday. It tore up my mouth so bad. I haven't been able to drink lemonade or anything since Tuesday because it was so strong for me, but it was so delicious. I loved it. It's a dill pickle seasoning. It actually kind of tastes like salt and vinegar. It kind of gives me that reaction where my what is it? My goosebumps stand on the back of my head, but it was delicious. That's about as close to Christmas event that I'm gonna get. I am not a Christmas person, y'all. I am not a Christmas person. So I'm gonna wish you all the Christmas love, and there will be no Christmas movies, there will be no Christmas music. There will be no Christmas tree. I will probably if my god family doesn't go to Ohio for Christmas, then I'm going to go to see them in Charlotte. But that's about as Christmassy as I'm gonna get. Okay. Christmas is not my jam. It's not my jam. Megan said, is that hot cocoa? Oh, hot cocoa instead of coffee. That works too. Especially if it's oatmeal hot chocolate. I'm into it. I'm totally into it. Yeah, it's supposed to be cocoa, but it could be coffee. I was looking for hot drinks. I'm not mad. Okay, listen. Thank you for correcting me. I like even better that it's hot cocoa because I'm trying to get off the caffeine juice. Okay, I love it. I got it. Keena said, I don't celebrate Christmas anymore, but the holiday songs are always nostalgic and cute. You know why? You know the songs. I get that, but after working in like retail, and you hear the same playlist all day, like it plays 3 times every day for 6 weeks. I don't ever need to hear Christmas music ever again. I don't. I don't. I've actually been applying to some retail places, and it's fine if the job happens before Christmas, but I won't be sad if the Christmas music is off, or I only have like a week of Christmas music. Like I won't miss it at all. So there is that. Megan said, I hate pickles, so that would not be appealing. I do not like salt and vinegar. I do like salt and vinegar chips, though. Girl, I love me some pickles and I love me some salt and vinegar. So you might like it. I don't know. I feel like the fun of it is because it's the Grinch. So even if you don't like it, you be like, okay, I got by the Grinch. Or maybe just put the salt on the side so you could taste it. But like I said, it was so acidic for me. It tore my whole mouth up. So I can't have it anymore. But I enjoyed it while I had it. Okay, is there anybody else that I need to give a sticker before I'm gonna take that off the screen? If not, don't worry. If you're watching on the replay, I can still give you your sticker. Just go to the comments, put hashtag sticker, and I will add you to the spreadsheet as well. Okay. There we go. Okay. I love it. Okay. So today's topic, I was sharing how I am in the messy middle. Is anybody else in the messy middle? Even if you're not in the messy middle, do you know what I'm talking about when I'm saying the messy middle? If you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm saying the messy middle, I'm like, what magical thing are you doing? You need to be telling me your story. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Cuz yeah, my life is messy as hell right now. When I say messy, I mean that I'm in the midst of making a lot of decisions, and there have been times where I'm like, am I jumping too soon? Is this the right thing to do? Um, like, and here's the thing too. I have to I keep now that I understand my money archetypes, my sacred money archetypes, and my sabotages, it is it gives me a really good baseline to like slow myself down and make sure I'm not sabotaging myself. And yet I'm also like, I just want to hurry up and get through this season. Like, I just want everything to quote unquote settle down. Has anybody else felt like that? Like, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I wanted to talk about what it looks like to be in that season because I think it can feel really lonely and it can feel depressing. It can feel shameful. And like Keena said, listen, take all of that shame and pressure off and get that shit back to the devil. Say, listen, you ain't allowed to bring that over here. So I wanted to talk about it because I wanted to talk about how I've been navigating that without losing my joy, without getting in a spiral, without overthinking it, and hoping that it serves somebody else other than me. And know what, no matter what, sharing it with you guys like is freeing. It's freeing for me. So I hope that as I hold space for you, you can hold space for me. So yes, Megan said working in retail was a nightmare. I kept hearing the same Christmas songs over and over. I don't even need to hear those songs ever again. Yes. That's how I feel about Christmas music. And I never know what Christmas song is going to be in retail, so I don't even want to hear it. Like, let me tell you, I have not turned the radio on since Christmas time started. And I will not be turning the radio on unless I'm listening to my own playlist because I know there's no Christmas music on there. So that's how I feel about that. Okay, so to this topic about the messy middle. So y'all know, a couple weeks ago, I guess it's been almost a month now. So early November, I started a job. And the main reason I started the job was, yes, I want income, but it was less about the income and more about all getting health benefits for the health things that I've been dealing with, the perimenopause and stuff. If I could have got health benefits through Uber, like if they had a group plan, I would have done that because it would have allowed me to keep the autonomy and flexibility that I've enjoyed. Um, but since that wasn't an option, I've been looking for a job. So I started this job, and you do an interview and you never know like how the place is going to turn out. But I've also been listening to my mentor, and we've been working through this one limiting the belief and I don't know if anybody else has had this. I never put words to it like this until I started talking to her. But the limiting belief is that when you pray for something or when you manifest something and the universe or God answers your prayer, you get what you get and you don't get upset. Like you prayed for it, now you got it, now you're stuck with it. And as I was listening to her, she's like, no, I used to believe that and now I don't believe that. Now she's been teaching me how to, okay, the universe answered, oh, here's what you said you wanted this, here's what you want. And I'm being like, okay, now I'm learning to say, okay, I wanted a job, but it needs to now look like this, and this. And I think that is super empowering. And though, even though I have really truly had a limiting belief that you get what you get and you don't get upset, which is settling. But I didn't really think of it that way because it was like, oh, well, I prayed for it and the universe answered. So I guess this is just what the universe decided I should get. And she was very clearly like, absolutely not. No. Sometimes when we manifest, sometimes when we pray, we're not really clear because at that point we didn't really have the clarity. We didn't really have the language we needed to clearly state what we wanted and why. So we got this first iteration of what we want, or the first iteration of this answer to our prayer. And rather than just saying you get what you get and you don't get upset, now it's time, now it's the opportunity for us to get more clear and say, oh, this is not actually exactly what I want. Let's talk about switching this up. And I've actually found that super freeing because I just didn't believe that before. Now, you might be like, "Oh, I always believed that I could change my mind." I think a lot of us don't believe that we can change our mind, that we don't have permission to change our mind, that once our prayer is answered, we don't have the right to ask for more or to ask for something else. Again, it's one of those subconscious things of being the strong one, of being the reliable one, that of being the oldest child, of being the only child, like that we've taken on. It's a subconscious belief that now that I have been working with my mentor to bring it top of mind, I'm like, oh, no, we're not settling for that anymore. And so this messy middle has been a lesson in, even when I ask for something, even when I pray for something, even when I manifest for something, I can still tweak it. I can still ask for more. I can still like make a shift to ask for what I want because now I have more clarity in myself to know what I want. And that's so is such a big part of what I teach in my framework. Um, because when we say we want something, a lot of times we don't really know what that looks like. I remember I was working with a client and she said, I just want to be a lady of leisure. I said, okay, well, what does a lady of leisure do? Whatever I want. Well, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know. That's not clarity. That's not quite clarity yet. And there's absolutely no judgment to that. There's absolutely no judgment. And when you start asking for those things and it's not quite what you want, it is exactly the opportunity to get the clarity that you want so that you can figure out, well, what does a lady of leisure do? What does it look like? What is the things that she does that you don't want to do, or the things that you do that you still do and you want to continue to do? Like all of these dynamics can come together when we get rid of the mindset that you get what you get and you don't get upset. That's not the end. That's not the goal. That's not what it is. When you get something, it is now the gift. It is now the opportunity for you to say, okay, here's let's lay out the pieces of this puzzle. Here's the part of this that is working for me, and here's the part that is not working for me. And here is now what needs to come in to replace that. And I have found the beauty of being in the messy middle from being able to acknowledge that. Because otherwise, I just want to hurry up and get through it. When I feel like I get what I get and I don't get upset, it makes me feel like I just have to settle for this. So I just need to hurry up and get through it so it doesn't have to be uncomfortable anymore. But instead, the gift is not believing that and recognizing that this is an opportunity to say, oh, this is not exactly what I wanted, but now I can get more clear on what I do want and work on manifesting that and work on focusing on that, on work on redirecting and dialing in and creating more clarity of that. Like, can you tell this gets me excited? If you thought that this topic, the messy middle, was going to be like complaining, nope. This is empowerment. It has been so empowering for me. Okay, there's been some stuff in the comments, so I want to get into that. Keena said, calculated pivoting is freedom. Exactly. Exactly. Because if you wait for it to be perfect, if you wait for yourself to have perfect clarity, you'll never move. So you can't wait for that. And you can't just stay where you don't have to just settle for whatever it gives you. Okay. That's like two extremes, settling for what it has to give you and waiting for it to be perfect. Neither one of those. The messy middle is in between that. And the messy middle is, okay, I know enough to take the next step. And that's what I do. That's what I help my clients do with vision casting. Get clear on the next step. Okay, we take that step. And now we take a step back. And this is where you learn how to, what I call periscope, zooming in on the doing something and then zooming out to see the big picture and how it affects everything. Zooming in to do, zooming out to see the vision. Okay. You see, I could get really nerdy about this. I love this. I absolutely love this. And I'm so excited to like really bring this out in the Q&As when we get into Jaya with Rashidat, when we get into the program, which I decided is launching January 15th. I'm working on the sales page. So I'm saying it out loud, January 15th. Okay. This is where we come together and I support you through doing those calculated pivots using your money archetype to understand what your self-sabotages are so that you're making decisions out of your values and not out of your circumstances. It's so powerful and it actually makes this so effing fun. Like it makes it fun. Rather than feeling grueling or like, what if I make a mistake? Because you can't make a mistake on your values. Once you know what your values are, you're like, either this is aligned with my values or it's not. And it might not necessarily give the outcome that I thought it was going to be, but I know that I was living in alignment with my values and who I'm becoming as I took the step. And that's what it means to, at least, y'all can tell me if you think something different, but that's what it means to enjoy the journey, is that I can live in my values while I'm taking the next step, you know? Okay. Megan said, I think that's what I gained during the gratitude challenge this week. Being grateful for what I currently have, even though I do want changes and want more. Exactly. Exactly. I had this thought today. If you can't steward what you have now, you're not going to be ready to steward more. You're not. But we all want to get to more. The better that we learn to steward our resources, our time, our energy, our money, and what we have right now today, that is what empowers us to be ready to enjoy the more, whatever more that we're going to. Whether it's more rest, whether it's more fun, whether it's more money, whether it's more vacation, whether it's more energy, whatever that more is, if we're not properly stewarding the stuff that the resources that we have now, even if we got more, we wouldn't know because it would be wasted. It's like having a hole with cups in the side, having a cup with holes in the side. I said that backwards. Is if the cup has holes in it, when you pour the water in, the water just drips out of the holes. That's the same thing that's happening to our resources because we're not being intentional with it. And again, inside of Jaya with Rashidat, That's exactly what we're going to get into, helping you really manage all of your resources with intentionality. And intentionality doesn't mean that you can't do fun things or that you got to be that you got to buckle down. Not at all. Intentionality is freedom. I am intentionally saying that I'm going to watch movies right now and it feels good and I'm not going to feel bad about it. Because why? Because I set this time aside for that alone. That intentionality is freedom. It's such freedom. It's such freedom. Okay, you see him on the roll. You see him getting excited. Let me come back. Let me come back. Okay. Megan said, being scared of seeming ungrateful and not thinking I can change my mind or want more has kept me stuck for way too long. Megan, I totally understand. I totally relate that. It's so easy. And here's what I think, listen, don't shoot the messenger, but I feel like Christianity has not has 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 been toxic in a way of saying, oh, but God blessed you. You have to be grateful. But God is a father. God is a father. And even though he knows us in and out, we can say to him, Dad, I really love that intention behind that. And this, I think this would have helped me better. Because he's a father. Fathers love to give us what we actually want and the things that we need. Like, to say that we can't talk to God and say, I don't think that was quite it, means that he's a tyrant. And I don't believe that God is a tyrant. And I don't think that God wants us to think of him as a tyrant. He wants us to think of him as a loving father that we're in relationship with. So why would we not tell him, I love that you answered my prayer, Lord. And I don't think I was very clear about what I wanted because I didn't know in that moment. And he said, don't worry, boo. I know you didn't. That's why I showed you. That's why I gave you what you asked for so that you could be more clear about what you wanted. So that when you got what you wanted, you would actually appreciate it and see that that's what you wanted. Listen, that's what it is. That's the part of this journey that has always been so beautiful with me and God. Because it's this conversation. Okay. Can you tell I'm excited? All right, let me bring it back. So here's what I say, Megan. Thank you for sharing. I know saying those things out loud can be really vulnerable to be like, I don't want to feel ungrateful. Let me tell you, it's not ungrateful to say, hey, Jesus, I do appreciate what you gave me. I appreciate that you saw me, that you heard me. And what I asked for was not quite what I wanted, was not quite what I needed. They understand. How do we not think that God understands? He understands it more than anybody else because he's God. He knows us. And so we have that space to talk to him about those things. Okay. So in that space, we have the freedom to change it. Nothing is set in stone. We do not have to be bogged down by get what you get and don't get upset. And so I've been living that with my choices about the job, with the choices about the business, with the choices, choices on choices on choices. Like, it's one of those things, a part of the journey, right? And it's okay to, I think when I have found the less that I try to hurry up and get through it, and the more that I allow myself to sit in figuring out what is it that I want, the more that I actually get what I want on the other side, which is another big part of what I do inside of working with me is, and this is why I also made the course Lifetime Access, the course in the community Lifetime Access. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to rush through figuring out what they want. I want you to have the time to be in the messy middle, to have me to help you navigate it, to help you to ask the questions, to help you get to the root of what you actually want, so that the next time you pray, the next time you manifest, the next time you ask for the things that you want, you actually know what you want. And it's not a bad thing to not know what we want. We're human. We're human. It's an evolution. So Keena says, in Kill Bill movies, the lead character has 5 things to do on her list. She wrote the names down daily to keep her focus clear. Putting a line through each line was satisfying for her. Listen, Keena, come on. Again, do y'all remember this summer when I was talking about Get Rich Lucky Bitch? She said, write your goals down every day. Write your goals down every day. I cannot tell you how beautiful it is to write your goals down every day. And when you do, it helps create such focus, not just for the universe, but for you. Because here's the thing, you're going to write a goal down one day, and then the next day you go to write it down. You might look at the wording and you say, oh, that's not quite right. So now you're practicing creating clarity as you go. You're literally updating the goal as you go. And some goals will stay the same every day. And some days they'll adjust, they'll evolve. Remember, I told y'all I've been writing mine down every single day. Get your Kill Bill vibe on and write your goals down every single day. And then when you finish that goal, you can add another one to the list. By that time, you probably will have another one that you add to the list. And that's okay. It's the evolution, and it's the same thing. This is the other thing that I want to bring to that. If you write down your goals every day, that doesn't mean you cannot change them. Again, this is another way that we have to get that limiting belief out of our mind, that you get what you get and you don't get upset. Not true. Just because you wrote that goal down today doesn't mean you can't tweak it, doesn't mean that you can't elevate it, that you can't evolve it, that you can't clarify it. You absolutely can elevate it, evolve it, clarify it, all of the things. Because you get to be a co-creator in your reality. God is creating the world, and yet he has decided that he wanted to be in relationship with us, where we talk about, God gets excited about vision casting, or what some people call visioning. You know, I hate that word. He gets excited about dreaming with us. Dream with him. Like, tell him, hey, like, Lord, these are the goals I wrote down today. What you think about this? He's like, oh, boo, I really like that one. And I'm like, oh, I like that one too, Jesus. Listen, can you tell I really live this? Like, I sincerely, and it's so fun. And it makes the messy middle feel, I don't know if it makes it feel less messy, but it makes it feel more purposeful. How about that? Like, it makes sense. Like, I gotta be in the messy middle to get to the beautiful, because I'm still clarifying what the beautiful actually looks like. So I wrote notes about what I was going to talk about, but you see, I didn't talk the whole time. I don't know that I actually needed the notes. Those are my immediate thoughts. I guess I could go back and look really quick and see if there's anything else. Um, to see if there's anything else that, I might want to say. Let me see. I would love to hear your thoughts. Tell me, do you write your goals down every month? Do you struggle with you get what you get and you don't get upset? Uh do you hate being in the messy middle? I want to know. Let me know. I'm opening my notes right now to see what else I want to talk about. Oh, okay. So then we're going to talk about some hows. Yes, how to. But let me see. Let me see. Megan said, I write my goals every month, but maybe I should switch it to every day. I would say switch it to every day. Um, this summer was the first time that I started writing down my goals every single day. And I have found it to be simpler than trying to do it every month. A month is a long time to recalibrate for something that you're working on every single day. At bare minimum, if I wasn't writing them down every day, I would be writing them down every week, which is a part of what we did in the co-planning. In the co-planning, you should be looking at what your goals were for last week, and what did you finish, and how do you reorder your goals for next week, and how do you prioritize them so that you're not trying to work on everything. Now, when you're doing that on a daily basis, I have found it to be even more simple because even if I write 5 goals down today, I know I'm not working on 5 goals today. I have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do have 5 goals written down today. And let me see, these three are like happening in the background. This one is not really happening at all, though it needs to be happening. And this last one is the one that I'm focusing on. But I have that clarity because I'm writing them down every single day. So Megan, I say give it a try. See how it feels. Keena said, Meg, writing down the goals daily will amp up the frequency and energy to manifest them faster. Absolutely. Again, Get Rich Lucky Bitch talks about that too. That's where I got it from. I would love to say it was me, but it wasn't me. It really does amplify it. And it also forces you to simplify. This is something I've always talked about. When we have our goals just flying around in our head, a lot of times we think they're so much bigger or that there's so many more goals to work on than there really are. So writing them down makes them so much more tangible, simplifies our process, simplifies our focus, simplifies our action, our what's the word I'm looking for? Invigorated action, intentional action. That's not the word either, but it simplifies our action to redirect it in the way that we want it to go. So, yes, I definitely don't want your goals rolling around in your head. And that's the thing about it being a month. When it's a month, it ends up being that you write them down and now it's like in your head floating around. But if you write it down every single day, there's something beautiful to that action. Megan says that makes sense. I'm going to try that. Good. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a really, really, really good practice. And it's actually way more simple than we think it could be. Um, I know sometimes people are like, well, how do you write them down? Do you write them down in future sense? Do you write them down in past sense? I say write them down as simply as possible. Mine says make 3,500 this month. Mine says get 100 new leads and figure out how the heck I'm gonna track it. Mine says get 1 month of content scheduled and validate my messaging. Another one says get sales pages done and update the assessment. Like these are very simple statements that I can almost memorize. And I started off with an affirmation. My affirmation says, it's my time and I'm ready for the next step, which comes back to the topic of being in that messy middle. It's my time and I'm ready for the next step. I don't need to know every step. I just need to have the clarity for the next step. The messy middle is okay with just the next step. Here's the way that I like to think about it. I know what the destination is. This is the other reason why I like vision. I know what the destination is. I know what my values are. I don't need to know every step that's going to get me there. I just need to know the next step to get me there because I can still keep my eye on that destination without knowing every single step to get me there. It actually simplifies it because I know what I know. Well, the Bible will say his eye is on the sparrow. I know my eye is on that sparrow. That's that thing right there. I can keep my eye on that. And I'm just taking one step. Okay, is this the step that's going to take me closer to that? Let me see. Okay, now I can take that step. And if it's not, don't take it. It simplifies our decision making instead of feeling like we need to, because you take that step, something else is going to cause an effect, something else is going to happen because of it. So you literally just focus on the one and then see what the cause effect happens, and then take another one and then see what the cause effect. It simplifies this whole process. Simplify by knowing where you're taking it, where you're going, and your values, and then just taking one step each time to get there. I love it. Farida says, hello, Rashidat in chat. Hello, Farida. We're so glad you got a chance to join us today. Let me know if you're claiming a sticker today. You could put it in the chat. We're talking about being in the messy middle and how to trust yourself in the messy middle. Because I think the other part that, okay, I'm a maverick. There's 8 different archetypes. I'm gonna try to remember them all. Accumulator, celebrity, romantic, ruler, maverick, alchemist, and nurturer. Oh, that was 7. One more. Shoot. I was so close. I got 7. Each of them has qualities that signify our the good things, and then also our sabotages, okay? For the sake of this conversation, I know that one of my sabotages as a maverick, and here's the thing, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. My maverick is a risk taker, and that's a good thing. And my maverick is a risk taker, and that's a bad thing. Because sometimes my maverick will be like, F this, I ain't doing none of this. We about to piece the heck out. And then sometimes it's not right, it's not quite time to do that. And so this is where it's good to understand your archetypes and how they work together. Because my top 3, you want to know what your top 3 archetypes are, okay? My top archetype is a maverick. My second archetype is a ruler. My third archetype is an alchemist, okay? The maverick is the rule breaker. The ruler is the empire builder. The alchemist is the magic maker. Okay. Does that, when you hear those 3 descriptions, can you see how that is all my vibe? Okay. And then I have an undertone of connector because I love connecting with people. So when I get a chance to understand my archetype, it helps me understand that in my messy middle, what are the ways that I might jump to sabotage myself back? Not really because I'm not that I woke up in the morning and decide I'm going to sabotage myself today, but because of just my personality, so that I can be intentional about leaning into my other archetypes to balance out some of my self sabotages. Okay. So, like I said, my self sabotage, especially in the middle of the pivot, in the messy middle, is that I just want to hurry up and get out of it. As a ruler with the messy middle, my self sabotage is that I just want to hurry up and work as hard as I can to push through it. Can't do that either, because then you come out of the messy middle burnt out on the other side. And I want to come out of the messy middle more refreshed, more rejuvenated, more empowered, more empired than I was before. So learning not to do that either. And then with the alchemist, the messy middle, their reaction to the messy middle is not really doing anything, because they kind of get into decision fatigue. They get lost in all the ideas of what to do, but don't do anything. So the main key of inspired action for all of these archetypes is, 1, understanding the sabotages of your archetype. And then 2, moving slowly through the pivot. Excuse me. I hate when my nose gets all stopped up while we're talking. Moving slowly through the pivot so that you can have a chance to take an action, double check for your sabotages. Take an action, double check for your sabotages. Like that's pretty much how it does. And that's how I found that it really has simplified my process and has made me feel really confident in the actions that I've taken. It has made me feel confident in trusting myself. Um, Made me feel empowered in what I'm doing. So Let me know. How does that land when I tell you that? Does that feel encouraging? Does that feel overwhelming? Does that leave you with more questions? I'm happy to talk more about it. Tracy said, ladies, hey, I'm so sorry, girl. You never have to apologize. We're glad you're here. Welcome, Tracy. I was talking about you earlier because I was talking about that aura planner. I tried to get into it, and girl, I was overwhelmed. I said, this is where I'm gonna have to pay somebody to just tell me if Mercury is in retrograde and what to expect because I can't keep up with that planner. Like, woo, Lord have mercy. There was so much information in there that just feels like a world away for me. I might be an alchemist, but it's my third archetype. It's not my number one. I live more in the maverick, the rule breaker, and the empire builder version of me. So, but it was good. It was very beautiful. The planner was beautiful. I just need more help with it. The planner wasn't quite enough. And I know a lot of people feel that way with planners. So, all of that to say, you have been thought of, and we're glad we're glad you're here. Today, our topic has been about being in the messy middle, and I have been talking about how I've been trying to navigate it myself, not trying to, how I've been navigating it myself, and how I've actually felt. This has probably been the best I've felt moving through the messy middle because I've definitely been the person that wants to just hurry up and push through it, who just would make a rash decision, like just to hurry up and be over with it. And I'm not doing that this time. I've been very intentional about the decisions. So, of course, I did think about you. Of course, Tracy. Meg said, I downloaded the app you spoke about last week and it's good. Yay! That's so excited. Megan is now up to 21 days of meditation. Isn't that amazing? I'm like, listen, come on, Megan. I love it. And you're waiting for the planner to arrive. Yes, girl. Tell me how. I want to know, like, when you use it, tell us about it. I feel like we're going to learn a lot about it as you use it, so share it with us. Oh, and you have a huge win. Come on, Tracy, tell us. You know we love a good win. A good win. As you are putting that in the chat. So that navigating the messy middle. What was the last thing I wanted to say with that? There was what, 4 points. Why uncertainty is a good sign. I don't think I talked about that at all. I think that not knowing, why would it be a good sign? I think a lot of us, when we're trying to move into a new version of ourselves, we want it to be like, oh, I know exactly what this feels like, but that doesn't make any sense. You're moving into a new version of yourself. So this is what makes the uncertainty of being in this messy middle actually a good sign. That means you are doing something out of your comfort zone. You're placing yourself exactly where you need to be to receive that elevated, that evolved, that new level of you. So while it can be uncomfortable to be in the uncertainty, it is absolutely a good sign. Okay, Tracy said, I got a call today from my boss. While they were not going to promote me yet until the following year, your girl is going to be receiving a 20% raise. What? You're like, listen, I don't need that title if you're going to give me more money. Come on. Yes and amen, Tracy. I love that. You deserve every bit of it. Yes. Listen, let me get my claps out. Where are my claps? Did it come? Play. Is it playing? Oh, of course it's not playing. Play. Oh, let me see. I hate when it does it. Here, let me see. There we go. Come on, Tracy. You deserve every bit of this cheering for you right now. Yes, you deserve that. I'm so excited to hear that. That is an amazing win. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, that's so exciting. That is so exciting. Right. I want the money. Screw the title. The title is for when I move and I get more. Screw them. That's the cynic in me. Hey, I understand. You're like, listen, I just needed the money. I don't need the title. I know that's right. That's how I felt about this job that I've been in. I'm like, listen, I don't need to do the extra part. I could do it, but I don't want it. I just want the money that comes with it. Yes and amen. I totally get that. Okay. So my other point, how to know when it's time to leave. So remember, y'all, I took this job, and you know why I took it? I took it for benefits and yes, for income, but I was doing fine with income with Uber Eats. It was more the benefits. Um, I've gotten into this job and I've realized it is extremely toxic. It might be better at another store, and yet I have not wanted to it doesn't matter. I After being there for this like month, it's going on like 5 weeks now. Granted, I wasn't working every day and I did have a week that I was in Pittsburgh. Um but what I found is the toxic environment. I've had two managers in the 3 weeks that I've been there. Um, and there are factions in the store. You know how like on Hunger Games, there's the factions. There are factions in the store. Like, and since I'm new, all the people like each faction is like trying to recruit me. And I'm like, y'all, this is nothing but drama. This is supposed to be an easy job. Like, this is not supposed to be like, who cares? Just come to work, do your job, and go home. Like, this doesn't have to be this hard. And so I wanted to quit gosh, 2 weeks ago. And I had a conversation with my best friend, and she's like, listen, remember your maverick side. This is when it's beautiful for your friends to know your self-sabotages. So they can help you navigate them. Sometimes you're not self-sabotaging and you just need to double check, and sometimes you are, but it's nice to have it. So we had this conversation and we were like, hey, you know what the plan is, you have a good plan, just stick to your plan, and by the time your plan pans out, you'll have an answer on what you want to do. And that's exactly what happened. My plan was to stay long enough to get the certification test was yesterday. I will have my results by next week. And in the midst of that time, I have found that not only is this job toxic, but it's not paying me enough. And so I'm still driving Uber when I leave there. So now instead of having two jobs, I have three. And I'm like, I could just go back to two jobs and at least I have the autonomy. I don't have to deal with the drama. And I'll keep looking for something else. But this, I don't have to get what I get and don't get upset. I can say, while I did want a job, this one is not the right fit for me. And now I have some more clarity of what I'm looking for and some better questions to ask when I'm in the interview process so that I can help navigate it. And it wasn't that I didn't ask those questions. I think I just kind of assumed that this would be easier and it wasn't, which is fine. And so I've already written my resignation letter. I haven't decided exactly when I'm going to give it yet, but it's going to be in the next week. So I've already been interviewing for other places. So we'll just keep one step at a time. And the biggest lesson for me has been in this. I don't have to just get what I get and don't get upset. I don't have to be like, well, at least you have a job. Because a lot of us would say that. Well, at least you have a job, just stick with it. Well, at least you have something, just stick with it. Nope. My soft life says I get to choose something that aligns with my values. Living in alignment says I get to choose something that is living in alignment with me. And so I'm going to continue to look for that. That's that. So how do I know when it's time to leave? When I can have that clarity that I'm asking myself, does this align with my values? And if the answer is no, make a decision out of that rather than trying to get out of the circumstance. If if this job aligned with my values, even if it wasn't perfect, I would have stayed with it. That's why I gave it as much time as I gave it. Because I want to be making decisions out of my values, not out of my circumstances. Now, I if I answer that question and it's not in my values, which it's not, then I'm making the changes and that's okay. Like that's how I've decided It's okay to do something different. Um, we've already talked about how to trust yourself in the in between and how to pivot softly without burnout. I want to talk about that, but I'm going to come back to that after I read the comments in the chat. Keena said, Tracy, invest that raise money into ETF paying weekly and monthly dividends so you can retire early. Come on. Tracy said, good advice, Keena. Come on now, boo. I agree. I was thinking I need to not touch the increase, but I agree with you. Politics is the worst. Yes. So first, I agree with investing that increase. And it sounds like Kina or even some of the other amazing women in our community could help you navigate how to set that up and how to do it in a way that keeps you from touching it because it's always easy to start touching it when it comes, right? But yes, I agree. Politics are the worst. And I guess I thought that at this level of a job that it would be less politics. And it's still politics. It's just with I this sounds so mean and judgmental, and I'm not meaning I just don't have another way to say it. But with small-minded people, I'm not meaning to be a jerk. We all know that there's different levels of enlightenment, for a better way to say it. And I'm not saying I'm the fullest enlightened person, but I will say that for a lot of people who are in this job, this is their life. And I'm like, y'all, this is not worth your life. Like there's so much more to life outside of this. And because this is their life, it exasperates, it increases the politics because they literally have nothing else to live for than the politics at work. I don't want to be that person. I've never wanted to be that person. I have been that person. I absolutely have been that person, but I don't want to be that person anymore. And that was the part that made it feel super toxic and made it feel like it wasn't a good environment for me. I need people who understand that they have a life outside of work too, that this is not their life. So, Tracy said, not yet. Set your boundaries. Come on. Come on. Okay, I love that for you. Being authentic to yourself. Exactly. And again, knowing what your values is, what makes us authentic to ourselves. Knowing what are the characteristics, how do we want to show up in the world? What do you want to be known for? I want to be known for as a risk taker, which I'm sure y'all know I am with my adventure. When you see me traveling, when you see me doing things that you're like, wow, I never even thought about that. That's what embodies my risk taker. Okay. I want to be seen as someone who's wise. And when I say wise, I mean someone who was willing to make the mistake and learn from it. Not that I got everything right, because I sure enough do not get everything right. I absolutely do not get everything right. But I was willing to try and I enjoyed the adventure on the way. The two things I want to be known for, okay? The third thing I want to be known for um is being a dreamer and seeing the potential. Like all of mine come back to potential in the world because there's always going to be something wrong. There's always going to be crappy politics, a crappy president, a crappy this, a crappy that, a crappy, crappy, crappy. There is always going to be crappy. And yet, regardless of all of the things that are crappy, I still want to see the beauty in the world. I want to be known for that. And I want to be known for going out and touching that beauty and experiencing that beauty and coming back and being like, yo, you need to try this. Like that's what I want to be known for. So what do you want to be known for? What are your values? How are you living them? What is the destination that you're creating? All of the things that we talk about inside of Jaya with Rashidat, because these are the things that help you take yourself out of making work your world or making work consume you and actually creating a life that you love, because these are the things that you're working for. You're not just working for work to work. Like work doesn't have to be your life. These are the things that you're actually working for. So, yes, Tracy said just this morning, I heard this lady talk about worth. And then here you are. The universe is talking. Come on, universe. Yes and amen. Confirmation. I love it. Tracy said, we're all worthy because we're all human. Right. Even if you never could move again, even if you were bedridden and not able to move your head, literally only to eat, to blink your eyes and to eat through a tube, you still absolutely have worth. That was my why when I started this business. My own personal why was I wanted everybody to understand in dignity. I wanted them to believe in their own dignity. And dignity comes back to the fact that this has nothing to do with what you do. It's all about who you are, who God created you to be from the absolute beginning. And that had nothing to do with what you do. It's that he got excited about you and he said, Tracy, babe, yes. Here's how I think about you. Keena, here's how I think about you. Megan, here's how I think about you. Michelle, here's how I think about you. And every single bit of how he thinks about us is filled to the depths with love. He know we make mistakes, but that doesn't mean he takes away his love. He doesn't withhold his love because of that. So I wanted my business to be about us returning to that dignity, because when we live from his dignity, from how he sees us, all we got to do is wake up in the morning and we're in worship of him. We're living how he created us to be. And when we're living how he created us to be, we are leaving the impact on the world that he wanted us to live. We didn't have to like go out and we didn't even have to make goals to do that. We didn't even like it if we the goal was to be who he created us to be. That simplifies it. That simplifies what we do, how we show up every day when we do that, right? Okay. Can you see I get on a roll with this? Because I'm so passionate about it. I think that we've been taught that we have so much we have to do. It's not about what we do. It's about who we are. It's what we it's our inner being that he created in us from the absolute beginning, which all comes back to our self-worth. And we are worthy because we're human, but not just because we're worthy, because he loves us, because he created us. And fish are worthy, cows are worthy, animals are worthy, we're worthy, the sky is worthy. So instead of trying to pull that away from each other, not to say that this group does, just lean into it and be grateful for the work that each and every one of us bring to the table. So there's that. So my last point, how to pivot softly without burnout. I would say simplifying it is how you do it. And when you simplify it, is stop over. I know this is easier said than done to stop overthinking it, but the way that you stop overthinking it is to literally know the destination in the map. So, how do you want to know the destination in the map? Use your goal as the destination in the map until you can get into the program with me and create your vision. Okay. Use your daily goals as that destination point until then. But then we'll create a vision for you. Okay. Once you have the vision, then it's literally, okay, what's my next best step to take towards that? You take a step and then you assess. You take a step and then you assess. It is really that simple. It is. And that's what I love to help my clients do. Because when we do that and instead of trying to plan out every step, when you do that, when you take a step and you assess, you leave space from here, from where you are today, all the way to your vision. You allow so much space for magical things to happen, for God to show up, for the universe to do crazy things. Like that is where the magic happens. When you start to try to make a spot, like decide every little thing, that perfect thing that has to happen to get to that, you take away the magic you take away the magic from the journey. So that's how you simplify the pivot. Take a step, you know your destination, but take a step, see what happens. Take a step, see what happens. All right, that's my soapbox for today. I hope it was helpful. It is definitely the season that I'm living in. And it's just one of the seasons that I love to help my clients through when we work through inside of Jaye. and I'm excited for Jaye to launch. The doors are going to um the pre-enrollment is going to open sooner than the 15th, but we'll start doors will officially be open to go through and start with the course and the coaching sessions. All of that will start in January 15th. So I'm excited about that. In the meantime, let's start winding down for the weekend. Okay, we have three different steps that we do to wind down every single week. Those three steps are: first, you're going to take a second to look at your devices, your iPad, your laptop, your phone. See how many windows do you have open? How many emails can you close? And do some emotional decluttering. This is a beautiful step of making space for you to receive all that you are meant to have. Get rid of the stuff that you're no longer using. And if you're like, oh, but I want to save this for the future because I might come back to it, don't leave it as a tab open. Put it all in one spot, put it in your nice little folder. And when you're ready to come back to it, you will. But don't keep it open, taking up space and energy in your mind. Okay. That's the other beautiful thing about writing things down. It's a clearing. And that clearance in your mind also helps you focus. Okay. So how many windows are you closing? Let me see. On my iPad, I need to put a new cover on my iPad. But let me see. I'm closing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 windows on my iPad. I didn't even know I had that many windows open, so I'm glad I checked. Close 10 windows on my iPad. I got a good number of windows to close on my laptop because I was working on ads this morning. I was working on content. Yeah, so I just closed one. This will be two, three. Let me see. We could close this. Four. Um, we can close five. I was in the middle of that, so I won't close that one. Six. We could close this. Um, yes. Okay. Seven. And these were the things that I was working on. So I have 7 windows on my computer that I closed, 10 windows on my iPad that I closed. How many windows are you closing today? If you want, share it with me in the chat. Also, if you're in the place where you're like, girl, I get what you're saying, but I'm not ready to close them yet. That's a jump. I understand. It has been an evolution for me as well. So no shame off. If you can't close any windows today, you're not ready to do that, that's okay. Try next week. And you even if you have a couple, maybe you only close one today and you need to leave others open. I didn't close everything. I only closed 17. There's still 5 more open, okay? So close what you can. Clear up the space that you can. Um and know that this is an evolution. You could keep evolving into it. Okay. So, first step was to close some windows. Second step, what is the fun meal that you are having to bring yourself into your rest mode for the weekend? And then the third thing is, what is the rest activity that you're doing for the weekend? Now, if you're like me and you work over the weekend, you're like, this is not really me winding down for the weekend. So today was technically like my weekend because I had today off and then I have Monday off, at least until my resignation goes through or until I start another job, right? So if that's the case, that's okay. You can either watch this the day before your day off. So I would have watched it yesterday if I was watching the replay, or I could watch it on Sunday to prepare for Monday since I'll be off on Monday. Or the other part is still do the activities with us today, knowing you're giving yourself a recalibration for rest every day, even on the days when you might work earlier in the day, but you come home and you rest later. It's still a recalibration, a weekly recalibration that helps you step into that space. Okay. It all works. All of it works together. Okay. All right. Okay. Tracy says, that's me. I have a whole bunch of windows open. Girl, I understand. I normally close off my entire company windows. Don't care what it is. I understand that too. Listen, if the work that I was doing was on a computer, I would be doing the same thing. But when I would step out of that job, y'all, I don't think about none of that. They have me on a group text and I hate it, but it doesn't matter because I ignore them. I go back and read the text the next day that I go to work. So when I go to work tomorrow morning, I'll go back and read through the text. Otherwise, I don't care. Don't text me. That's how it is. And then Tracy said, "Girl, the weekend is Stranger Things." I had somebody say, "Oh, have you watched Stranger Things?" So I had a friend try to get me into it, and I couldn't get into it, Tracy. I don't know if it's a little too weird for me. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't get into it. Now maybe I need to try it again. I might need to try it again. But the last time I tried it, I just couldn't get into it. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to see. But listen, Stranger Things is on like season number like 15 or something crazy, right? There's like so many seasons of Stranger Things. So that would be a good one for me to watch because then I wouldn't have to find something new to watch for quite a long time. I hate when I find a series and I go through it so fast and then I have to find something else to watch. Is anybody else like that? It's just me. Tracy says Stranger Things is good. You have to pass the first season. That was me 2 years ago, but now I'm addicted. Season 5. Okay. Cause yes, I think I watched it when I was watching it from the beginning. In the first couple seasons, I was like, I think I was on, I don't even know. I have to go back and see. I would have to start at the beginning again. Or maybe because I don't know where I left off, and I don't know that I don't know if that's on the account that I have right now or not. But I might have to check. Maybe I need to just start at season 5. What do you think, Tracy? Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe that's what I should do. All right. So you said in 2 whole weeks, I'm now on to season 4. Oh, listen, you've been ducking and moving. I ain't even mad. You said, "Oh no, I like this now. I'm totally into it." Yeah, you went through quite a bit. I ain't mad. Okay. So I'll have to check it out again. I'll have to check it out again. All right, y'all. It's about that time to start winding down. So I hope that today's discussion was helpful. It was, thank you for allowing me to share with you. Like I said, I don't have it all figured out. And there are some things that I have figured out. And those are the things that I wanted to pass along. There are definitely some things I have figured out, like how to avoid like running through that messy middle is so important. And like I said, being focused on your vision and learning how to take one step and assess, another step and assess, like really slow yourself down. This is the slow down to speed up season, and it's been beautiful in the way that it's been evolving. So Keena said, wait. Tracy said, started at season 1, episode 1, and now you're on season 5 in 2 weeks. Girl, you definitely have been ducking and moving. Keena said, all 4 John Wick movies this weekend. Eat a lot of curry dishes. That sounds amazing. Is what streaming service is John Wick on? I feel like I've seen one of them, but I need to go back and like watch them all. So what is that on? Let me know. What are you streaming that on, Keena? Because I know Stranger Things is on Netflix. Yes. So then tomorrow, this weekend, I'll be working from 7 to 3, and then I'm gonna drive Uber afterwards, and then I'll come home and rest for a bit. Then I'll pass out. Then I'll get up and go to work, and I'll do that again, and then I'll have Monday off. And then I think I'm gonna put my resignation in on Tuesday, and then I'll be done by the end of the month. That's what I've been thinking it's gonna be. So yeah, Tracy said John Wick is good too. Keena said I have DVDs. I'm old school, girl. You are real old school if you got DVDs. Wow. I ain't mad at you. Get it. Get it. Keena's a daddy's girl. Is that what you were saying, Tracy? A DVDs girl. Maybe that's what I think it was supposed to be that. Keena is a DVDs girl. I don't even have a DVD player anymore. I wouldn't have anything to play a DVD or a CD on. Yes. Okay. You were saying that. I wouldn't be able to play either one. If it ain't streaming, it ain't me. You know what? I had a CD case for the longest time. I bet you that CD case is heavier than Elohim is. Okay. That CD case was so heavy. It was like carrying twins everywhere that I went. And I finally was like, listen, I'm passing this thing. You got VHS too. What? Girl, you real old school. I can't hang. You know what it is? I've moved around too much and I'm not moving no boxes of VHSs or DVDs. Not only that, I don't have space for that in my tiny house. I don't even want to make space for that in my tiny house. I'd rather have shoes than DVDs and VHSs. Now that we got streaming services, nah, ma'am. No, ma'am. Tracy said no. Megan said, I still have a combo of VHS DVD player too. Y'all, my mother does too, but I don't go to her house to watch TV. I do not go to her house to watch TV. Cause I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. I mean, if it works, it works. We just have so much more access to so much more these days. Michelle, are you watching? Please don't tell me you're watching Home Alone on a DVD or a VHS. Is she still on here? Listen, I can't even hang. I cannot hang. Y'all, my stomach is growling right now. My stomach is like, we're about to go make something to eat. I do have a couple more things I want to work on. Actually, I have one thing I'm going to work on. And then I'm going to watch a little bit of TV and eat some popcorn. And then I'm going to get ready for bed. Because I got to be up at, I have to leave the house at 6:30 in the morning. Keena said, if when the streams do go down, y'all gonna come watch my DVDs and VHSs. Keena said, when the apocalypse happens and you don't have no other TV to watch, no other way to entertain yourself, you're gonna be glad I got these DVDs and these VHSs. Keena, I can't even with you. You are a mess. OMG is right, Tracy. I can't even. Y'all are so silly. Well, Keena, I will definitely keep that in mind. When the apocalypse and we don't have any more streaming services, I'm coming to find you, my girl. Y'all, it is always a great conversation. I love having happy hour with you. I hope that you enjoyed the conversation while we sip today. I didn't sip very much today. I kept forgetting. I only got water today. Joycey said, I can't with you people. I am shaking my head. I'm laughing good because I'm like, I can't listen. A DVD player. Listen, that's what I'm just have to pull out a book. How about that? Because I can't even imagine going back to a DVD player and a VHS. Them things was at least the VHSs, they weren't heavy. They just took up a lot of space. Whereas the DVDs actually got heavy, you know? Girl, I don't miss none of that. I love all my streaming services. You know, do y'all remember the first thing that Apple did was before you could buy a membership to Apple Music, or maybe around the same time you could buy a membership to Apple Music, you could also share with Apple all of the music that you owned. And what it did, it was like Music Match. And so you paid $25 for the whole year, and you had unlimited access to the music that you physically own on your streaming without having to buy it, without having to pay for it again. I love that. I did that for a long time, until I finally, instead of buying new CDs, or again, and now I just started buying new streaming music rather than buying CDs. So that's what I did for a long time. Listen, my water bottle is saying, "Hey, boo, go drink some water." Let me drink another sip. All right, y'all. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I hope that this has helped you wind down from the week. I hope you celebrated your wins. If you didn't claim your sticker, go ahead and put it in the chat. I will still give it to you. Or if you're watching on the replay, put it in the chat. You can get it that way. I enjoy you. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, y'all, I will see you next week on Freedom Fridays right here for our regular conversation. I haven't decided what the conversation for next week is going to be yet. I'm still trying to get a good rhythm to that. Like today, I was a little late, especially with me trying to navigate the work situation, but that's okay. We're all here. It was a good time. I'm glad y'all joined me. And yeah, thank you for resting with me. I really do appreciate you. It's always a good time to have you here. And I'll see you next week right here. Don't forget your drink. Bring somebody else, another Black woman who is in their enjoy their life season rather than their working hard season. And let's come together. Enjoy the time together. Let me see. I done lost. There we go. Tracy said, I don't mess with Apple products. I like freedom. I don't like being locked down. Hey, I get it. I also love, I love me some Apple, so I get it though. Keena said, peace. Have a great week. You too, Keena. Have a good weekend, my favorite ladies. Yes, have a wonderful weekend. I love y'all. See you next week.